New cards, PogChamp. New cards, PogChamp. First and foremost, 2025 Megapack Megaton announcement. I do appreciate that we are not even pretending that anything matters except for DM. You got the three big DM guys on the cover. You got Yugi, you got Mr. Kaiba, and you've got Joseph. And what do we have on the side? Everybody else, which appears to be, who are these assholes? This is Mr. Phoenix, Jack Atlas, one of those Barian guys, Yugo, and Blue Angel. So you have to imagine on the other side it's the protagonists from those sets. Anyway, I don't know what to say about the Mega Packs and the Mega Tins that hasn't already been said. I think the one interesting thing is that you can just buy the packs now. You don't necessarily have to buy the tin. So you won't have like a trillion tins just sitting in your house if you decide to purchase the packs. Regardless, I'm excited about it, I suppose. The tins haven't had the best reputation in recent years, and it's probably because they stopped putting good cards in them. Hopefully they start putting good cards in them again. No, chat, the hype train is expiring. You've lost this give me money challenge. Oh well, that's fine. Next up. Return to classic Xyz. God, can you remember when classic Xyz were Xyz? Now they got freaking Nirvana High Paladin everywhere. Return to classic Xyz with Return of the Duelist. Wait. That's the name of a set. I love when cards are named to the name of a set. If there is an Xyz monster on the field or in either graveyard, add an equip spell from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Okay. Next up. Argostars, Courageous Arion. Okay, you all know how I feel about the Argostars. Probably the most, like, cards released in the last 10 years. It's a bunch of continuous traps that do literally nothing. They have been engineered in such a way that from stem to stern they do quite literally nothing. There's a continuous trap archetype that is now playable in the TCG, and these cards are not a part of it. They're just chilling. They just hang out there. So maybe this will fix it. This is an Xyz monster, 2 level 4s, and I believe you can use the trap cards for this. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. Once per turn, you can also Xyz summon it by using an Argostars monster you control. Okay, it's a Zodiac. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can add an Argostars spell from your deck to your hand. That's going to be the field spell. And during the standby phase, you can... Oh my god. That's what it does. On Xyz summon, you add the Argostar spell from your deck to your hand, and then during the standby phase, you can detach 2 materials from this card, put 3 Argostars continuous traps from your graveyard face up in your spell trap zone. Okay, so this is, I would say, an incredibly powerful card. In pretty much anything, this would be enough for me to consider the strategy. However, in Argostars, you do have to put Argostars in the deck. And as a result, like if you get to your standby and you proc this effect, you're only going to set a bunch of cards that do nothing. I don't know. To me, it's a Link one that searches the field spell in an archetype full of bad cards. But at least it's now very consistent at doing that one thing. Shouts out, by the way, to this weird Nombo that they've thrown into this card. It can be Xyz summoned with 1 material, but to proc that second effect, you need to detach 2 material? That's too funny. Oh, it's the standby, not your standby? Okay. Still, I mean, let me give you a perspective about what the Argostars cards do, right? Slayer Ateo says, warrior monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects. Then if you have a banished Argostars monster, you can return a card on the field to the hand. Okay, that's good. Lightning Taidu Warrior monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense. Add an Argostars from your deck to your hand. And then warrior monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. And then you gain 500 life points. Now, Home Stadium turns them into a burn and sort of negates, but it's not really the way you want it to be. Like, this sounds like you're making this card and it's 3 negates plus a compulse, which is crazy. But Home Stadium works like this. If a continuous trap activates its effect in your monster zone while you have a banished Argostars monster, target a face-up card your opponent controls and negate its effects until the end of the turn. But this is a spell card. And spell cards cannot trigger at quick speed. Your opponent's going to activate something. You'll activate one of the Argostars. Then on a new chain, Home Stadium will make it negate. I'm willing to be wrong about this, but I believe this is going to be another archetype that a bunch of people are going to go, oh my god, it's 10 trillion negates, and then it will accomplish nothing. I haven't yet been wrong about the Argostar stuff, because every new piece of legacy support, people have been like, now the archetype is really good. I am willing to bet that it is still not good, but we'll see, I suppose. It's not like Labyrinth's field spell? Yeah. So the way the Labyrinth field spell works is it says when you activate the trap card, it gains an additional effect. So it can activate. All right, next up. All right, this is what you're all here for. Mitsurugi Wave 2. Mitsurugi Wave 2, you're telling me now for the first time. You're telling me you're telling me now for the very first time. Wow. They were great cards. Okay. Mitsurugi no Mikoto Aramasa. If this card is normally special summoned or tributed, you can add a Mitsurugi monster from your deck to your hand except for Amarasa. Okay, so this first sentence already makes it the best card in the deck. If another reptile monster you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can tribute this card instead. Triggers off itself. You can only use each effect of Aramasa once per turn. Mitsurugi no Miko Wosu, oh my god, it's 8 stars. You can special summon this card by tributing a reptile monster from your hand and a monster your opponent controls, but you cannot special summon or activate monster effects for the rest of the turn except for reptile monsters. This card is still probably okay. I imagine you'll play at least one of this guy. You can only special summon this guy once per turn, and if tributed, you can discard a card and add this card to your hand. Oh, that's pretty good too. Maybe you send him from the deck to the graveyard as the tribute cost for your ritual spell, and then you add him to your hand. Then you'll have him for your opponent's turn. I imagine they could play one of these. Ame no Habakiri no Mitsurugi. Here we go. Ready? You can ritual summon this card with Mitsurugi Ritual. Monsters your opponent controls lose 800 attack. You can reveal this card in your hand, special summon a Mitsurugi monster from your deck, then tribute a monster you control. Are you kidding me? That's a once per duel, and if this card is tributed, you could add a Mitsurugi from your deck to your hand except itself, then special summon this card. Wow. So this card's insane. It is simultaneously Incantation Chalice Slime and Stratos. Wait, if this card was not ritual summon, can you cheat him out? No. So this effect, if this card is tributed, I think means you can use the ritual spell to tribute this from deck. You can proc the effect to add a Mitsurugi from your deck to your hand, but you will not be able to special summon. Because that second effect is optional, so you can still activate it. So I hate to be like this. This is fucking custom levels of support. It's so unbelievably I'm truly shocked. There's really no end of the stuff that you can do with this card. Obviously, just the ability to be able to search like capital M Mitsurugi cards without wasting your normal summon is unbeatable, especially in a deck that has a bunch of spells you want to add to your hand that aren't necessarily super accessible. Additionally, Having a guy you can normal that's actually good to normal outside of Saji is really good. Additionally, or special summoned. So theoretically, it could proc off of Ame no Habakiri, although it can also proc when tributed. So you could use Ame to get this, tribute this card, add a Mitsurugi from your deck to your hand, and then you still retain your normal summon for the Saji. Wow, I really like. I'm having a hard time expressing just how powerful this archetype is. Already, Mitsurugi is a consideration if you're playing Ryziel, depending on what you want to lose to. If you want to never find your engine and lose to the fact that Ryziel only has 6 cards you can play in the deck, you play Pure Fiendsmith. If you want to lose to the fact that you have 9,000 pieces of engine and can't play enough non-engine, then you play Mitsurugi. But this, more important than anything else. God, it's really hard to say this, but I find myself saying it a lot frequently. It declunks the deck. The thing about Mitsurugi Ryziel, if you've ever played it, is that there's a ton of really clunky, little stupid sequencing nombos that you kind of have to keep track of all the time. Like what you're using your normal on, when cards are going to the grave, how you're managing your resources, when you're getting the ritual spell, what mode you're using. This card papers over a significant amount of those issues. It really is like the missing link between two different disparate hands that now you can just play both of them. It's so beautiful. And I'll be honest, while I'm talking about it in the context of Mitsurugi Ryziel, Ryziel is not the only deck that can use this card. There's going to be a lot of decks that want to consider Mitsurugi, and there is a possibility that you just play Mitsurugi, that you're just like, fuck it, you know? This deck is already pretty good. What if I just play the good cards in the good deck? I'm really thrilled about this strategy. Wow, it is, it's going to make Providence a lot of fun, I will say. But we're not done. There's still more. We have a new ritual spell, Mitsurugi Mirror. This card can be used to ritual summon any reptile ritual from your hand or graveyard. Okay, so I think you've probably figured out the use case for this already. Ame no Habakiri, when tributed, can add a Mitsurugi from your deck to your hand. Guess what you can add? Mitsurugi Mirror, which can then ritual summon it from the graveyard. You must tribute reptile monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed the level of the ritual monster. If Ame no Murakamo no Mitsurugi, Futsu no Mitama no Mitsurugi, or Ame no Habakiri no Mitsurugi you control is tributed. Thank you for the shout out. This is now a pre-preppable card. Wow. And not only is it a pre-preppable card, pre-prep now adds, I believe, any of them. Isn't it worded that you add a monster mentioned on the card? Now it's just Rhoda. Okay, anyway, if these cards are tributed while this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle this card into the deck. Not necessary, but thanks for the shout out. You can only use each effect of Mitsurugi Mirror once per turn. Literally just on here to write the names on the card. And Mitsurugi Magatama. My Magatama will tell if you're lying. Alright, quick play spell. During the main phase, activate one of these effects. Tribute a reptile, then target a face-up card your opponent controls, destroy it. Ritual summon a Mitsurugi from your hand by tributing monsters you control whose total levels equal or exceed its level. This card's good. Card's good. Right now, Mitsurugi has like a slot in it for a card that does something on your opponent's turn, right? And people have been playing the trap. The trap is fine. There's a new trap, which we'll get to momentarily. This is a way to get to a position where you can like extend on your opponent's turn and use the like quick pops and like get them into a position where they have to discard a million cards to do anything. I think this card's fine. I like it a lot. All right, Mitsurugi Sacred Boundary. Your opponent cannot target Mitsurugis with effects of monsters specialed from the extra deck. Interesting. You can target 4 Mitsurugis in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, then if your opponent controls a monster, make them tribute a monster they control. So, this is a weird one. I actually just can't get a sense of if this card is good or not. My gut is telling me it's not great, This deck does have a lot of like searchability. Theoretically, you could play this as a one of, but despite the fact that the deck has a lot of searchability, it's hard to imagine a scenario where you have like access to mirror and access to both the ritual spell and the quick play and Magatama and maybe purification, and then you would consider Sacred Boundary. Maybe you play it in the board for decks like, I don't know, Raid Raptor, so you can actually out their card. And finally, Mitsurugi Tempest. If you have a Mitsurugi ritual spell in your graveyard, tribute 3 monsters whose original names are Ame, Futsu, and oh my god, there's 2 Ames. Fuck. Murakumo, Mitama, and Habakiri. God, that's how we're gonna have to refer to them after spending 6 months referring to them as Ame and Futsu. Make your opponent banish exactly 8 cards from their hand, extra deck, field, or graveyard. Okay, so this card is really bad. This one is terrible, of course, but it is a lore card. Anyway, so my take on these cards is, wow. We talk a lot about a powerful second wave of support. Ame no Habakiri no Mitsurugi, Mitsurugi Mirror, and Mitsurugi no Mikoto Aramasa are unbelievable cards. Like, truly shocking that they would print these. I'm so happy they did. Wow, it's... Whew. There are still some weaknesses to this strategy. Chat's pointed it out. Droll does go kind of hard. I don't know, fucking Mask of Restrict. But certainly a deck that should be on everybody's radar in the near future, both as a Raizio build and probably as pure as well. Ton of combos if you want to show them. All right, Fed Negator, what do you got? Okay, here's Ame no Habakiri. Saji Tribute, grab Prayers. Prayers effect, send Habakiri, grab Murakumo. Saji. Habakiri for Ritual. Ritual, send 2. Go for Ame. Trigger the effect of Kusanagi and Aramasa. Grab Ritual and Saji. Fuck me. Ritual for the Futsu from deck. Trigger Ame. Grab Mirror. We hadn't normaled. Oh my god. Cycle back the Habakiri from grave. Grab Prayers. Okay, so that's like bad, of course. That's like what you do in a pure build of the deck. But that's a 1 card that ends on, like, not only... Like, it's tough to think about it because it's like Ame plus SP plus a rank 8. But realistically, the important part of this is that it drew you 7 cards, right? You can play... All right, ready? Let's say you get drolled here. All right, well, guess what you can play? You're going to love this. Come on. Come on. That's right, baby! This deck can support Fiendsmith! Oh, yeah, that's what I like to hear. 1 trillion years of Fiendsmith. And then, of course, now that you have the Nibiru insurance, you can just go Ame. This is in a scenario where you don't get drolled. Futsu. Grab Mirror. Summon back Ame. Cycle the Futsu for the Habakiri. Futsu for Prayer. Wow, this is crazy. And you still get to end on the 8. Hilarious. All right, here's the Raizio one. I do want to look at the Raizio one. Ext for Sword. Sword for Ice. King of the Fairlimps for Ame. No Habakiri. Habakiri, summon Saji. Tribute Saji. Saji trigger. Grab Prayers. Prayers, send Habakiri for Murukumo. Saji. Ame. Ritual. Fire the Ritual. Send 2. Oh my god. Grab another copy of Habakiri. Cycle back that Ritual. Grab Futsu. Ame. Magatama. That's not what it looks like. Ame. Twins. Normal Ice. Duo Drive. Cross Node. Oh yeah, man. Cycle the King. Detonator. Equip Twins. Fuck me, dude. Cross for... We can even cross for 2. Oh, draw Fuelos. Yeah, well, that doesn't do anything, of course. Oh, my God. If you play Fiendsmith, this is also redundant in case you open both. All right, I'm looking. The classic. Oh, we tribute a little early to go Saji for prayers. Prayers for Ame. We get to draw off the Necroquip. That's funny. Fiendschmidt. That's a 6. Now we prayers, now that we have Nib insurance. Saji and Ritual. Fire the Ritual, Futsu, Ame. I'm going to have to get around calling it Ame, because there's 2 Ames now. Murakumo. Habakiri, prayers. Make an 8. Normal Saji, IP. Okay, well, and then we go Detonator. Here's the most absurd high ceiling combo I've found yet. All right, so this is Fiendsmith plus pre-prep. What do we got? Habakiri plus Mirror. All right, sure. Ingreva. Tracked. Tracked for Lurie. Lurie. Yeah, Lacrima. The Creamer. Ame. Saji. Grab prayers. Prayers. Grab the one that I can't remember the new name of. Habakiri. Draw off the Necroquip. Ritual for 2. There's Ame. No, there's Murakumo. Into Saji. Into Ritual. IP. Into Futsu. Prayers. Mirror to cycle for Ame, or for Habakiri. Futsu for Magatama. Make it 8. Fiendschmidt. Sequence. We're still going. Agnum Day. Aboaku. Set 2. Aboaku. Lacrima Agnum Day. Agnum Day Desiree. I mean, honestly, that seems pretty good. Oh, man. Oh, I like these cards a great deal. I think they're going to be really strong. There was one we didn't watch. Oh, here's a fun fact. These cards don't have to go to the graveyard. So if you open Shifter, you can do this. Oh, no. Oh, I don't like this. Wow. Futsu. I mean, that under Shifter, that's good enough. This beats Droll? Well, yeah, because they have to send Droll to the grave. Oh, God. Yeah, this looks scary as fuck, dog. Adamana's in chat. Can we get a version of these combos that instead of going King of the Pharolymps goes Infernal Queen Banshee and adds Poplar? Oh, man. Good cards. Good cards.